And I love my mom to death. Me and her are like best friends because of she always says that we raised each other because we're so close together in age. She's only 16 years older than me. So when you grow up with that kind of figure in your life and showing you that no matter what obstacle gets put in your way, you can still take that step forward, you always have that hope that you're going to accomplish something. I think a lot of these people, the crime is caused because you've taken away their financial resources and you've taken away their hope. Does that make any sense to you?
Absolutely. In fact, I didn't want to be put in a box by saying that lack of money causes all crime. Definitely not. I think you hit the nail on the head. It's hope. Hope is probably the most powerful in the formula, if you would say that. Definitely the associations that you have, the hope that you have, whether it's faith-based hope or just hope because you see opportunity in front of you, and there's certainly. I'm not a criminal psychologist, so I can't sit there and attribute every reason why people go to crime as to what that is. I just because there are certainly wealthy people who commit crimes, so it's really greed and lack of civility above everything else. But what I think what's interesting, and thank you for sharing your story, because in my line of work, I see people from all different backgrounds, and I'm actually still thinking about, you mentioned Jason Stapleton. One of the things that he'd said in one of his interviews was that sometimes people in middle America who really have average lives and really aren't really poor and aren't really wealthy, they have the most difficult time putting themselves up in a higher plateau, if you would, because people who come from very desperate backgrounds, people who have virtually nothing or have had horrible experiences in their life, a lot of times they see themselves as, I want to get out of this situation, so they push even a little harder to get to that better life, where somebody in the middle America would just be like, I'm just kind of safe here, I'm not too warm, not too cold, and it's more of a comfort thing, right? Mm-hmm. So, but it is basically the mindset, and that's really what I'm all about with my videos and the things I put on social media is the power of our mind determines the outcome of our life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would imagine that in your field, by being a prosperity coach, you have to do a certain amount, and maybe you don't, maybe you have this natural talent, but I would imagine that you have to do a certain amount of study on psychology and how the mind works and how to communicate better with people and how to really expose people to the possibilities that their life holds for them.
Absolutely. Being a coach means that you got to lead people to make decisions that they wouldn't normally do. And, I've seen people from all different backgrounds who become ultra successful. Certainly there are way more successful people than me in my life. And I'm constantly trying to study their behaviors. And they say that human nature is in everything that you do. Human nature is either working for you or against you at all times. And so, not just in the financial industry, but just in sales and I think in success in general, just understanding how people behave, what drives them to make decisions. If you're in sales for anything, whether you're selling automobiles or you're selling, like life insurance or you're selling anything, people make decisions based on their emotions. And if you understand why they make these emotions and what their human nature is all about, then that'll put you in a better place.
On the next episode of Stranger Encounters, December 3rd, Michael Korbel.
sinking, tearing deep within my skin. Faded eyes can't see true evil within me. Broken mirror of my